Welcome. This is Sports Extravaganza. My name is Tony Konada. Thank you very much for making time for this live show. Every Saturday, kila Jumamosi, hapa ndio tunapiga shughuli, hapa ndio tuko live kwenye TV47. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. all the way to 7 p.m. Remember, every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, specifically Saturday, be sure from 5 p.m. or from 4 p.m. we shall be giving you and showing you a live English Premier League game. And today, this afternoon, we are, of course, bringing you one of the highlight fixtures of the English Premier League this particular afternoon, between a game between Brentford and Aston Villa. That game, of course, will be kicking off at 5 p.m. We shall be airing it here on TV47 in partnership with Sporty TV. So stick around for that. It's a live game right here on this great station, your new home of English Premier League football. Remember also, we shall be airing Serie A games as well as Bundesliga German games on this particular station. So never miss any particular game. Hapa ndio hapo unapiga hiyo shughuli. Siko peke yangu on this particular great show. Most of you are asking me, you've been asking me on my online platforms, Tony, that goal that was scored, the Harambee Stars' second goal in the quarterfinal against Madagascar jana, ile bao ikifungwa, mbona referee alionyesha alipoint kwa center, alafu tena akakuja akasema ni foul, akadisallow goal. So of course, this particular afternoon, I'm very privileged and honored to have former Football Kenya Federation Vice President, Mr. Sami Ch. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
He's also a big entrepreneur. Hata ndo ameniambia saa hii ati hiyo jezi iko karibu na yeye. Ulikuwa unasema nini jezi?
No, hizi jezi zinafaa kuchange. Saa hizi I don't know if you've seen my jerseys.
Of course, I've seen your jerseys. I've seen.
Yeah. It was a 5 minutes design.
Yes.
It was actually a client's design. So I decided, I was actually in a hurry, and then I decided, why don't I just tweak the colors to represent the Kenyan flag? And then I posted it. I was so much in a hurry.
Yeah, I know.
I posted it on Facebook, and then I decided to drive off. So 5 minutes later, I was receiving so many calls from Kenyans.
And they're like,
we, uko na hizi majezi? Nikwambia, wezi ambia client aziko.
Siwezi kosa.
Ziko lakini zitakuwa produced from Saturday.
Okay.
Then from Thursday next week, then zitakuwa tayari.
Okay.
I had to turn around, nika cancel meeting, went back to the office, strategized. And then Kenyans are very good people.
Yeah,
I'm
for
telling
sure.
you, and
They're supportive.
I thank you. Sijuka niyo cameraman gani.
Yote tu hata hii.
Wa Kenya mazee, hats off. Acha nitoe kipara ionekane. Hats off kwa Kenya. Thank you so much. Because
and you're a former Harambee Stars player, you're a former Kenya Premier League player, of course, a champion in both. Unajua wale wa Gen Z waweze kuwa nakutambua vizuri.
Ndio.
So tafadhali, if you can also
okay, kwa majina naitwa Sami.
It's very important.
Sami Ch. My name is Sami Ch. I was born in Kitale, Trans Nzoia district, where mahali football inachezwa. Tulikuwa tunacheza boli kwa inaitwa Lifundo. Lifundo ni boli nyingine ilikuwa ya karatasi inashonwa, alafu mnaicheza. Then I went to Kitale Union Primary School. After then I went to Kibabi High School. Yes. Bungoma. Mimi nilisoma for free. I school for free because playing for the school ilinipa bursary.
Yes.
So nikamaliza, my first team was Raymond's Woolen Mills in Eldoret, and then from there then I moved over across to Rivertex.
Yes.
In 1990 Rivertex walikuwa wamequalify tu kwa Premier League, Super League then. Unajua ndio ilikuwa debut tulipoingia hiyo mwaka.
Yes.
We finished number 2 in the league.
Yes.
That was very impressive. So Kenya Breweries wakaniona, nikaingia Kenya Breweries. Immediately I joined Kenya Breweries. That is when I was called to the national team Harambee Stars. And I thank Mohamed Heri, the coach, because I was better than that player that played for Kenya Breweries when I was playing for Rivertex. But it was until you come to Nairobi ndio watakuchukua. Sijui sisi wachezaji wa ushago ilikuwaga lazima ikuwe Nairobi.
Yes.
So I played at Kenya Breweries for 7 years. I retired in 1997. Tukiwa Kenya Breweries, we helped the team to reach the finals of CAF Cup in Africa. We were beaten by Motema Pembe. Exactly the same mistakes that we did yesterday is the exact mistakes that our coach did then. overconfidence. And then there's this thing in Itoga, winning team. You know, for us, our culture was that if you're substituted, the team that will finish that match, say we are playing Gor Mahia and then waka substitute watu, that team that finished that match is the team that will start in the next match. So basically, the small little problems that we've been having in the national team is mixing the players. So now we keep on losing that gelling, that coalition, cohesion, chemistry and all that, because you cannot, the player that played last time together with the player, left fullback, right fullback, na midfielder, if you remove one of the three, then kidogo, you're starting a new game.
Yeah,
you're starting a new culture. So elite cost, it's a good thing, but that many players were also given an opportunity to showcase their talents, which is good, but it was at Kenyan's risk. And yesterday it was very painful. It was really painful.
Yeah, it was very painful, Sholei, because I've picked up your point where you're mentioning about the sort of the rotation by Coach Benny McCarthy.
Yes.
And I remember in one of his, the Coach Benny McCarthy's press conferences, he said the reason why he was doing that was because, for example, if he was going to play with Congo in the next game and he's playing with Morocco, so he was playing different players in Morocco game and going to start different players in the Congo game so that he can confuse Congo.
Yes.
I don't know if that's a tactic.
I mean,
it worked or didn't work, or he was just a bit gambling,
You know, football, just like any other game, is unpredictable. You can employ your tactics and then it works for you. Like for the other match, for Congo, it worked for us.
Yes.
But for this one, it backfired. I mean, Benny McCarthy has actually brought a lot of joy to Kenyans, lot, especially to me. And then kuongezea kale kanyama kadogo kakuangusha ratili, president,
kale kidogo
kuongezea,
Yes,
Maze, yani, where I am today, I feel so happy because I know wale 40, I don't know ni 40 ngapi wale technical bench plus the players,
42.
42.
Yes.
They came into the camp without money. Na mashida ndogo tu kunyuma.
I know, they always carry. I'm sure you know those challenges.
I know.
You've been in charge of it.
But you can imagine they are going back home, Kuna wale labda parents wao wagonjwa, they can sort that out. Kuna wale labda gari yao ilikuwa kidogo, wataisupa. Kuna wale walikuwa na tamanigi wako na kaploti Kitengela ama wapi. Maze hizo do mkipata please.
Wako na 5.5.
Yeah,
5.5. 5.5 million wako nazo already.
And pia wasiachiliwe tu waende. We need to get the financial advisors.
That's financial literacy.
Because mi unanipa 5 million, mi mwenye
hata 20,000 fully.
Yeah, unaona. So kidogo kuna ako ka pressure. Number 2, kuna anko wako, kuna auntie wako, kuna beste wako, kuna ule girlfriend wa zamani, kuna sijule mwingine na nini. Wamejua sasa huko na do. Haya. Tutaenda huko, kuna wale wengine sijui kuna uchawi kidogo.
Yes, wako na kanywele kako walikuwa wamefika
kanywele wakatoe waende wakafanyie uganga nini. So unajua saizi hawa vijana watakuwa na pressure sana. Actually the whole lot wale watapata hiyo do watakuwa na pressure sana. What I keep saying, sometimes unajua naambiaga watu mimi sina do. Mimi ukosa paka pesa ya kuweka mafuta kwa gari, unaona? Unaweza kosa hiyo tao mbili. I mean, kwa landa ushakosa. But kuna wase wanasema, "Ai Sholei.
Unatuambia wewe aje?
Unaweza kosa pesa kweli."
Tunakuonanga town.
Pesa, wewe na jina yako nini?
Yes, so
pesa ukosa. So, mimi kitu musema, niko broke kwa mfuko na niko na pesa ya biashara, hata kama ni 10 million, 2 million, 1 million, 100,000. That is not my money. Hiyo ni pesa ya biashara. I have that discipline whereby I cannot just drop into my account, company account, nitoe pesa. We kwa London nakutana wapi tukule nyama bama nini. No. Uko broke. I am broke, but niko na pesa lakini sisi za kampuni. So hii pesa ya hawa jamaa na wale wengine wameona hawa vijana wamepata pesa ama hiyo lot ya national team, tusiwapige pressure. Tuwape tu time kidogo mazee wa settle down, wafanye mambo yao. Na pia president mimi namuomba mazee, yani hizo affordable housing ile alikuwa amewapromise. Nobody loves to lose.
Yeah, no.
Hakuna mtu anaendaga kushindwa. So ni bahati mbaya tu kuteleza tukashindwa, and I mean we have to wake up to dust ourselves and then we
will move on. And of course, I'm glad of course you went into the incentives hizo zote zile najua in your days I'm sure you wish you're back to playing for River Tex.
Bro, si tuko napata allowance ya 250. 250 shillings per night. 250. Yeah, uliza Otamax, kina Otamax Musa Otieno. 250 Sami Omolo.
Yes.
Yeah, 250 shillings. Na ilikuwa kidogo si mbaya inakujazia mahali lakini zizi hakuna mtu alikuwa, nobody cared about us. But I mean it's something that it's been a culture for all our sports in Kenya. But all of a sudden now this guy from nowhere avails himself na anasema na hapa 1 million Kenya shillings nini. Be it political ama ni goodwill honestly we don't care.
We don't care.
Wacha nikwambie I am so happy
I'm sure whatever you are working through in those areas now it's bearing fruit.
I am happy for those kids because what has happened to them ina push ule mtoi anataka kucheza ball kwa ile nyumba aanze kwenda kwa academy kucheza ball. Ina push ule jamaa ameonanga mambo ya bodaboda mdudhi interest yake sasa, unajua interest ya mambo ya game inaanza kuchange, unaona. So ikiwa president ataishikilia tu hapo, I am telling you, nile tu hapo kwa gap, tuko na gap kingine kwa ministry fulani hapo hivyo ingekuwa kuna mtu pia kuna hiyo connection ya president anafanya alafu na hii alafu mpaka kwa ground, we will be going places. Alafu uongeze na hizi stadiums zinatengezwa. Yeah, I think we are headed somewhere.
Yeah, this is of course he set up a very good precedence, of course, in terms of the foundation. Yeah. I know this is it's a short-term sort of what we are seeing, short-term plans that the president has, but in the long run we hope it will itadunga wale watu wengine nyona for the long term. So now we don't just give these people 5.5 million right now. Then when we start for other tournaments itakuwa ni ngori. This is Sports Extravaganza. Siko peke yangu, niko na former FKF Vice President Bwana Sami Ch, a former Kenya Premier League. You've won the Premier League.
Yes, several times. Exactly. Yeah, Kenya Breweries twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. A former, of course, champion in the Kenyan Premier League, as well as a former Harambee Stars player, and of course, who has also been in the administration of Football Kenya Federation. So you can imagine, I have who is who. I want to just, of course, to invite Michael Barnabe, and also, it should be other. Barry Sila is here, and they should be joining us in a few. But if you're joining us, this is Sports Extravaganza. We want you to be part of this particular show. We should be part of this particular show, and we want a question of the day. We want you to ask you this very simple question. What is your take about Harambee Stars' exit from CHAN 2024? What is your take on Harambee Stars' exit from the CHAN 2024? What is it? What did you see? Did you enjoy the thrill and fun? Were you disappointed by the exit? Were you happy about them being given incentives? Were you happy about the stadiums? Were you happy about just CHAN being in Kenya and being one of the co-hosts? Talk to us. What is your take about the exit of Harambee Stars from the CHAN 2024? The numbers on your screen. WhatsApp ndio unaona hapo chini ya screen. My director, Nick Mavindisa, Nick will also show you, also indicate the phone number which you can call. You can also engage with us on Facebook, TV47 Kenya. You can engage us on YouTube, TV47 Kenya. You can go to TikTok, tuko pale. Unaweza enda kwenye Instagram, tuko pale. Kwenye X is TV47 Digital, enda pale. 0795 045 864 is the number to call. Pigia simu and engage with us. I'm joined, of course, by the champion of the County League, Mseto FC, the coach, and of course one of the greatest minds of football in Kenya right now, that is Michael Barnabe. Karibu sana. Alikuwa bado anapanguza machozi ya Harambee Stars kutolewa kwa kikombe. I know it was painful. Karibu sana. It's good to see you.
So painful.
Asante. And then of course we have Barry Sila, one of course a sports journalist in the country, one of the top sports writers we have so far. And he's also a great mind in football. And of course, together with the president, former vice president of FKF, Sami Ch. Now, let's just get into it. Hii ndio nilikuwa nataka tu say swali saa wote tulime watu kiboko. But remember also we shall be having a live game, Brentford by Aston Villa from 5 p.m. Ch, the goal that was the second Harambee Stars goal that was disallowed. I know we don't have that particular goal, but let's talk about it. Okay, nasikia kuna simu kutoka Homa Bay. Jared, habari yako? Okay, ukitupigia simu ensure uko na airtime. Sahi hatuna airtime, yote imeenda kwa Harambee. Chukuliwa na Harambee. So call us and then of course be able to engage with us. Sami, that particular goal, in my own opinion, it does not reflect the opinion of Cape Media, but in my own opinion, the referee, the second, the third, and the VAR officials have a case to answer, in my own opinion. Sami, in your own opinion. That goal, that of course, ilitoka kwa hii kona, ikarushwa kule, ikaheda, ikarudi kwa hiyo 6-yard box, wakafunga. The referee pointed to the center. All of us in the stadium, we were screaming our voices off. Then boom, hakuna bao. In your analysis?
Yeah, I went through I replayed the goal several times. Yes. And I'll tell you what, I'll be biased. Na pia unajua nitakuwa biased because nasikia uchungu tulinyimwa bao But if you look at what happened, yeah? Because huyu jamaa alichengwa hapa alafu hiyo ball ikapigwa cross.
Yes, okay.
So now mchezaji wa opponent wetu alikuwa anarudi nyuma. I mean, you know, just trying to balance mali flight ya ball italand, not knowing that kutakuwa na mtu huku nyuma. Wanyuma pia anaangalia hiyo ball. Sasa hapa juu, hapa chini hawajui kama watagongana. So unfortunately our striker alifika mbele yake, ukimwangalia alimbump kidogo before the ball landed. Kama wangekutania kwa ball, it would have been okay. And I think that is basically what ruled the goal out.
Barnabe, from of course what Shalwe is saying, we should have gone to VAR. In my own opinion,
yes,
there were 2 instances.
Yes.
I'm thinking, at least give us a benefit, at least just clear our doubts.
Yeah.
But what is thinking, in your own opinion?
First of all, thank you.
Karibu.
I think nimelala sana kwa sababu jana nilala late.
Mkichora hizo malaini za VAR.
Na Chelsea ilihama watu 5. So ilibidi nilikuwa natoka hivi nje nikapata zinaingia, so nikasema wacha niendelee kuwatch. Anyway, I honestly feel that ukiangalia in your own way, you'll see issues. Utaona referee ana makosa kwa sababu it depends also with the angle and what you're seeing as a fan, as a coach, as a, everyone, as an official, as an expert. Kila mtu ana namna yake. But if you get to understand what the law says, then you'll get to know that something happened. And I think for the question you've asked about the VAR, true, to clear the air, they could have, checked. But probably we didn't insist enough also on the other hand. Pia decisions of VAR pia utegemea na ile pressure pia. Even zinaenda kwa referee. Yeah, wachezaji wote wanafaa kuwa walienda pale nini. Okay, it was there, but
Abud alienda mpaka
Abud alienda ndio
akashika shingo ya referee.
Nini
mpaka nikasema hapa tunakula red.
Yes, Abud, by the way, kama ingekuwa tieni kapi pia ingekuwa mambo ingi.
Hiyo ni ingekuwa.
No, but ukiangalia vile alikuwa amemshika, alikuwa amemhold in a friendly manner.
Yeah.
It was friendly.
Ya kunyonga.
Haikuwa kukanyaga shingo.
It's a thin line between friend.
No, ni vile alikuwa referee. Unajua nowadays rules zimechange. Ukikuja with certain mood fulani kuna referee inaenda.
Well, they were having a conversation.
Yes,
yeah, that's a conversation.
Yeah, but also they're trying to make it, friendly. Football is too much serious pia. Kuna ile approach yenye mchezaji atakuja nayo. Hata kama ni mkali. Yeah, because pia unajua wako under pressure and disallowed goal, wako in front of thousands of fans, and it's a knockout. Yeah. So for me, I think Kenya maybe to see crucify the referee too much because there was contact before the ball.
Yes.
So that means ilikuwa too clear. Only that we've seen mistakes, by the way, even before that match. Tumeona zingine zenye mpaka kama ile penalty ambayo ilitolewa ya Kenya the other day, tulikuwa tunacheza, nafikiri nilikuwa nani na referee kwa shapeana. Ilikuwa shapeana ikatolewa. So tumekuwa na hizo instances. We still have a long way to go. But hiyo kitu huwezi ona mahali kama England. Ati referee asha point katikati mpaka nani AR1 amerudi alafu tena inakuwa sio hiyo. Inakuwa ni issue. Only that angeenda tu kucheck VR, aoneshe wa Kenya that
Kuwa, yeah,
happens.
replay.
Yes, replay it clearly. Tukue satisfied.
Yeah.
That's the only thing ambayo alikosea.
Barry, yourself, in your own opinion.
Thank you, Tony, for having me.
Karibu.
And apologies for...
Karibu.
for-
No, I know where you are. I know
Yeah,
where you are.
and it's good to be next to the legend.
I know you know the legend. I know you too.
Thank you. In my opinion, I agree with my colleagues here that yes, in the eyes of the ordinary fans on the stands or the people on the other side on the TV, it should have stood as a goal. But in terms of, this is why we have two ARs. And for the visibility, what they were looking at in terms of infringement, like Sami says, before Ogam got to the ball, there was the defender was there. So he bumped into the defender
Before the ball landed.
Before the ball landed.
And so this is perhaps what many Kenyans didn't see. And Nani Uchungu, a lot of us, maybe benefit of the doubt, they said maybe it was minimal, but it was a high stakes games in the quarters. You don't want to take chances as a referee. So yes, for some of us would have said maybe he should have let it slide, but Madagascar also would have complained. But that said, overall, I think that game was well managed and well officiated. Perhaps the fault, we should not take point fingers. The fault maybe was somewhere else, maybe tactical switches of players. But all in all...
Just said the penalty takers.
Yeah. Well, but
No, penalty because that's another whole discussion.
Yeah.
Fingers mixed.
Just say it.
but that said, as I conclude, I'm very proud of our boys to this extent. We've never reached in this stage, I think, for 40 years.
Yeah,
So we should be proud of where we are, and Benny as well for a good job.
Indeed. And Sami, of course, let me bring into it, of course, having been a former vice president of FKF. I saw recently when Morocco were playing against Nigeria, I think in the Women's Africa Nations in Morocco. Of course, Nigeria won. There was an instance about, I think, a handball or a push or a very critical decision that was made that actually was in favor of Nigeria. And I think Morocco appealed, I think was to CAF, and that referee who was in charge of that game, I think was banned, suspended, or actually was sanctioned. In this instance, for me, I feel like FKF need to appeal. I know it might not affect whatever is happening in Chan right now. Chan will continue. Today, of course, we'll have all these Uganda, Senegal, Chan will continue. The final will be here, whoever will go. But FKF has a responsibility, at least so that as the fans, as the players, they can understand, and yeah, for sure, that air has been cleared. Does FKF have any, right now, President Hussein Mohammed, can he do anything in terms, if they find there's reason for them to appeal for that, so at least sanctions can be made for the referees?
Yeah, they can do that. Yeah, I mean, just like my colleague said, just to clear the air. But okay, you appeal purposefully because you want to buy time so that you can consult locally while you buy time to pursue the case. So appeal is a good way, I mean the right way to go. So if we are going to appeal, then so be it. But before we push the second phase, now we have specialists, we have qualified referees, we have FIFA referees in Kenya, we have retired Kena GMT Otieno. Bring them in one room, go through that clip so that we don't embarrass ourselves, because we might be appealing. I remember when Sami Kempes was running for presidency, we did an appeal at Switzerland, at FIFA, and it costed Sami a lot of money, about 1.5 billion Kenya shillings. For this one is big, because this is just an individual, but if we are appealing, then it's a country appealing. So we will pay a lot of money. But having said that, again, we need to lock like 10 or 15 or even 20 referees, our former referees, retired and current FIFA. Actually, we can have retired FIFA referees back our current. We lock them in one room, let them go through the clip, and then now advise the federation if it's worth, pushing for the case or not. Otherwise, we will embarrass ourselves.
Yep, Barnabe, of course, as you were into that, should we push for this? You are a coach of Museto FC, and I can imagine you are a coach, you can be in the shoes of Benny McCarthy. I know Benny McCarthy is very composed because, of course, he has a duty to the country, so I don't think he'll go and tell Hussein to, whatever, it's now the prerogative of Hussein or the officials of FKF presidency to know if they can do that. Do you think we have any case? But you mentioned, you say there was a bump. For me, football is a contact sport. And that, I mean, I know it was now, that's where the referees come in and say whether
Remember,
it's 20 degrees.
It's a contact at 50-50.
There are some...
If you bump yourselves at the same time, then both of you are muko equally. Lakini huyu mwenye akipiga mwingine before the other.
Let me show you something.
Even the Madagascar player is also, you know, amerudi. So huyu jamaa pia akikuja. I mean,
Ona,
so
Tony.
you're saying, Sami Ch.
Tony, 50-50. Allow me to show you something. If it can...
50-50 on the ball.
Look at this. If I have a player, just come. Kidogo too. I don't know if I'm able to... Confirm, when you're talking about hands now, because it was, you know, a bit of, you know, pushing. Hiyo ndo ilichukuliwa because ball haikuwa imefika. Ndo Sami amesema 50-50. For example, niko na ball hapa. And then I'm protecting this ball this way, okay?
Shielding.
So I'm shielding this ball na mkono yangu iko hapa. This is not a foul, okay? Because maybe anajaribu kupush, okay, try to push. Alafu mimi niko naye hapa. This is not a foul. But if I do this, now that's pushing. All right? Si nimetumia mkono yangu na imemove na imeonesha action. Now, awase walikuwa hivi. Ball inakam. So before hii ball ifike, umse alifanya nini?
Alimguza kidogo.
Alimguza kidogo. But alimguza. That's what he said. That maybe hiyo contact ingepatana wakiwa wote kwa ball or something else. So this is what we are trying, thank you. This is what we are trying to say. Kuna jurisdictions za kutumia hizi vitu za contact na kuna mahali penye uwezi pita na kiwango uwezi pita. Should the FKF appeal? First of all, we have to look at, you know, the reason. Why are you appealing? Do you want the game to be replayed? Do you want to, you know, for the referee to get sanctioned? So for what purpose? What impact will it have, you know, to us as a country preparing for, you know, something like, you know, AFCON coming to us? So all these parameters have to be looked into before we decide. And that's what he said. We cannot do something that might come back and tarnish our name or, you know, have a negative impact. But if they sit down and realize that, yes, there is something that happened na tulilaliwa, then I think they should. But if sometimes ukiona italeta mambo mingi unaacha. As I conclude, me as a coach, what I prefer to tell my players, and that's what I say, that incident happened. Did we get other opportunities or did we not? As Kenya, did we have other opportunities to, you know, to get the, you know, something? Yes, we did. Mpaka time yenye mpinzani amepoteza penalty, tumebakisha tu tatu. So sometimes I tell my players, do not focus, and let me not even focus, you know, on what happened. Sisi tulikuwa na nafasi. Did we use them
or not?